Joseph Crudup Show, welcome to my show. Today is Wednesday, July the 9th, 2025. Yes, we had an update up there in Texas. Like I just said this before, last Monday when I did do the thing for the Joseph Crudup Show about the Texas flooding, and the deaths are rising, and they're rising, and 173 are missing. And I just learned here today is that 100 and up to 100 people dead after this flood up there. I mean, they shouldn't pick up the phones when it's raining, and they shouldn't um and they shouldn't listen to what they're telling us. But I don't have to do it. I mean that's absolutely a mess. It's absolutely a mess. I can't even tell what's going on. But yes, it has been, and it's sad. So it is what it is. First, at least 119 people dead at the state in the state of Texas. That's a record for everyone here. The worst flooding in Texas history since the worst flood up there in the western North Carolina, a Hurricane Helene. And they had a forecast of the floods came up here in North Carolina. So anyway, be aware for this, people. Be aware for this, because it's gonna be rain and it's gonna be flooded since it was last Sunday. But up there in Texas, I can never even say what's happening here for real. It had nothing to do with it. People had nothing to do with it. It's not Trump administration's fault. And it's just, it seems like this. I mean, it's happening, folks. It's happening all the way. The climate change and everything that's going on and on and on. Since the winter weather here in Texas in 2021. Here we are in 2025. We had this flooding going on. And now 107 are still missing. So at least it is going to this, and at least 160 still missing after catastrophic Texas flooding, officials said. For me, we got this terrible, terrible mess up there in the front of people. A lot of floods up there. And let's go. I'm gonna go to CNN. It says Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a proclamation today that identifies items, including allegations aiming at improving early warning systems for flooding and providing relief funding for those impacted by the flooding in Central Texas. He says that we delivered a historic election in the 89th regular legislative session that will benefit Texans for generations to come. Albert said in a statement today, there is more work to be done, particularly in the aftermath of the devastating floods in the Texas Hale County. We must ensure better preparations for such events in the future. Some of the special sessions in January outings, including legislations aiming at strengthening communications and other response infrastructures, spectacularly in flood-prone areas across the state, as well as legal states to evaluate and similar rules and regulations to speed preparedness for and recovery from natural disasters, according to the statement. Now, it says the governor identified 18 agenda items in total. The special session will be held on July 21st at 12 p.m. Central. It's just, I mean, that's a the thing. So that's about 12 days away. That's 13 days away for real. Apparently, of 9 loose balls to break through and aiming at escape floorwalls. Now it says this. Listen, I'm gonna listen to this. And family of 9, including 2 lone children, escaped rising flood waters in their home by breaking through the attack. 83-year-old Penny Dupree was hosting profanely at her Caravel, Texas, home over the July 4th weekend when she woke up in the middle of the night to see flood waters pouring in. She told CNN's Pamela Brown she and her sons walked their entire family, including her 1 and 3-year-old grandchildren, to quickly come up with a plan to escape as the home rapidly filled with water. Their lives depended on it. The family climbing a ladder to the attic, grabbing lobster bottles, and banging on the back wall to create a narrow escape hatch. They managed to squeeze through the escape hatch, get into the fast-moving water, and make it to safety. The family has since returned to the remains of their house, debris and fallen trees surrounding their homes, but the shell remains intact, with an American flag still hanging by the side. A CNN crew joined the family as they surveyed the damage and climbing the same ladder the family is during their escape. The family was able to recover a wedding ring, photos, and even remains of 4 additional copies of the book, The Secret Garden, which their great-great-grandmother wrote. They told CNN. So, as they look down, all this going on here in this floor right there, it says on Wednesday. I mean, it's good for them to be alive. It's good for them to be alive. We're going to ABC and see what has been. It says this. It says it's we'll have an update on those Texas flooded right now. It says this. Now Texas flooded live updates. It says 95 dead in Cole County, at least 119 dead in the state. At least 119 dead. I'm going to say this again for right now. I'm going to say this right now. It says this. Now listen to this. At least 119 people are dead from the devastating flooding in the Texas Hill County. Cole County was hit the hardest with at least 95 deaths, including 36 children. President Donald Trump signed a disaster declaration for the county, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency is on the ground there. Search and rescue operations are ongoing. You know, I never know what's happening out for us, but we've seen this before. It's devastating right now. And we have 160 people missing out there in the land of Texas, the Lone Star State. And yeah, the Texas Hill and something like that is happening out there. This flood has killed a lot of people, getting all the vehicles, and just devastating. It just devastated to watch. So, wish they had cell phones, wish they called them and see what's happening there now. I just wish, I just wish they can get out. But at night, you just wouldn't happen. You just wouldn't happen. And the floods are going fast, really, really going fast for real. I mean, just devastated for real. So now, all I can say is, where did this happen and when this happened for real? We don't know. It's happening so far and so fast. I just do not know how this will end. And that. So damage in the corners that's happening here before. There were corners everywhere. Floods everywhere. And yeah. It's just not right. There's a whole lot of stuff happening out for us. In Cornville, Texas, in Cornville, I can see this right now. It was the disaster. Very disaster. You just can't get out. You just cannot get out. It is damage that we have to say this for sure. A lot of damage, a lot of rivers. The rivers have been flooded. The house has been flooded, and the cars, the vehicles have been flooded. And they were just said, well, anyway, well, but we have to do something about this. The climate change is real. The climate change is real. I had nothing to do about that. I had nothing to do about this at all. I mean, but look, my goodness, what is happening? What has happened out there in the storm here? I mean, it's not safe there. It's not safe there, and a lot of children confirmed dead. We have friends there. We have to say, well, anyway, it's too late now. If we have friends, maybe you should tell them you should tell them to get off the camp and with the water's out there. That camp is from 500 feet to the river. It's from 500 feet from camp. The river is 500 feet from the camp. The Camp Master. Camp Master, as you ever say. And I mean, it just went. I mean, that day in Texas just the flooding, the flood, the rivers, the whole thing just went bad to us. That was on July 4th, 2025. Almost about last week. It is the disaster we just said. They were like, oh my goodness, all these gauze. And they said, all these gauze out there, oh my goodness. How did this happen? How did this happen? I mean, for all sort of reason. And the families and the mothers and sisters and brothers and fathers. I mean, that was a devastating watch. So now, I said this before. This is how it's happening so far for so fast. This in Texas out there, Florida. Our house goes after them. We're going to video right now, and you see people inside. And now look, the flood right there. We're going to release that, and you're gonna watch it. You're gonna see it right now. Here we go. People out there watching. And you see the floods. They're coming. The walls are coming. And there's no way. There could be no escape for that one. But the water is rising. That was on July 4th. The floods are rising. That was on July 4th. And it rises and rises and it rises. And there's no way the people can escape. I mean, we've seen everything that goes up. We've seen everything that goes up. I mean, it's just like, you go into this and this and that. You stay in camp, You had fun, you had a good time, and then all of a sudden, it happens. It really happens. People are kind of shocked and see what's going on. All this test is flawed that's happening. Okay, let's go to the independent down now. FEMA sends under 100 staffers to Texas Florida disaster as state rolls out nearly 1,800 responders. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has sent a factor of the postal law of the Texas Florida correspondent that the state has deployed to master the disaster. FEMA was deployed in Texas after flash flood devastation the state last week, leaving at least 170 missing and more than 110 dead. An internal memo opened by the New York Times shows that FEMA has sent roughly 70 search and rescue workers to Cole County, the hardest hit area, 5 days into the disaster. FEMA sent a dozen or more to Austin and an administrator 40 people are on standby. By compulsion, Texas has deployed over 1,750 postal and more than 975 vehicles and equipment access as of Monday are going to the Texas Division of the Emergency Management. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who Department oversees FEMA, said Tuesday that the federal government doesn't manage these disasters. The state does. We come in and support them, and that's exactly what we did here in this situation. Just in Canada, FEMA's director of extra affairs during the Biden administration also told the Associated Press that the agency's role is to bolster the state's emergency response. The state is in the lead. FEMA is inviting into the state to support. Still, that support seems to have dismissed since last year as President Donald Trump threatens to run down the agency. During the last major U.S. hurricane, Hurricane Helene in September 2024, the Biden administration deployed over 1,000 FEMA workers to southeastern states 5 days into the disaster. It was not immediately clear why the federal response to the Texas floods was so much smaller. The Independent has contracted FEMA for comment. In June, President Trump threatened to phase out FEMA. We want to well off FEMA, and we want to bring it down to the state level, Trump said. A governor should be able to handle it. And frankly, if they can't handle it, they're aftermath. Then maybe they shouldn't be governed. Madden Sullivan, director of the low-profile Texas appraisal, underscored the importance of FEMA's role in large-scale disasters. It's true that Texas is very capable, but I think it's something that people forget that FEMA pays for a lot of state and local emergency capacity. Slower told the AP. The fate of FEMA remains up in the air. The president has asked and a counselor to assess what's next for the agency with its next meeting scheduled for Wednesday afternoon. At a council meeting in May, Texas Governor Greg Abbott criticized FEMA, calling it slow and clocking and doesn't solve the needs of those who need it the most. He added, states have proved that we can move more nominally, more swiftly, more effectively. Experts, though, have warned that without FEMA, disasters management will become much more complicated. Without FEMA, a governor or a state has to be called around and have the wheel blocks of the whole government federal government to call and try and figuring out what support they can get, like a corn, a female chief of staff in the Obama and a Biden administration told AP. The management becomes even more difficult for similar states. If a state like Texas asks for federal assistance within 2 days, the smaller states that are less capable don't stand a chance. Jimmy Edwards, female deputy director of public affairs during the Biden administration, told the outlet early this week when asked about Trump's plans to wind down FEMA. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt dodging the question. The president wants to ensure American citizens always have what they need during times of need, she said. Whether that assistance comes from states or the federal government, that is a policy discussion that will continue. So what the FEMA will try to do, well, we'll have to just wait and see what happens. And this and that. And as Central Texas grapples with one of its worst flooding disasters, which has claimed at least 119 lives and left 160 missing, as a course shines through the darkness. Among them is Matthew Quadro, who was into the regular waters to rescue a sleeping family before dawn on July 4th. Quadro, a manager at Texas Paintball, said he was heading in to walk around 3 a.m. local time when he noted the rapidly rising flow waters. That's when he spotted a house in danger, with people still asleep inside. I started yelling to wake them up. Quadro recalled to ABC News. The first one to come out was the oldest son, Benny. He saw his front yard becoming a ragged river. Moore says, I need to get to board to my boys. Mothers recount Texas clamp flood rescue. Despite emergency dispatches advising the family to stay put, Quadro knew they need to evacuate immediately. The house was making noise. Trees were climbing down, and water was rushing under the house. He explained, I told dispatch, send help or now. I have work to do. The rescue came at a certain time, just hours early at 1:14 a.m. Officials had upgraded the flash flood watch to the warning for parts of Cole County. By 4:03 a.m., they had declared a flash flood emergency. The region will ultimately receive 15 inches of rain, more than double what meteorologists had predicted. Texas father sources for son as Hill County floods claimed over 100 lives. For the family crowd saved, he said the losses are straggling. They lost everything, their car, their house. When I saw them yesterday, they were walking wherever they could, shoveling the trash bags, Quadro said. Quadro said he is now volunteering around the community to help families in need after the flood. He told ABC News the community's response has been overwhelming. Quadro's workplace, one of the largest businesses in the downstream realm, has been flooded with offers of help. A GoFundMe campaign for the rescue family is doing great, according to Quadro, and similar stories of neighbors helping neighbors continue to emerge. It's really great to see people stepping out to help others, both during the floods and after. Quadro said, speaking from the cleanup site, wherever he continues to volunteer. And that's all for the news for now. And we'll get an update from now until the day's end. Until then, I'm Joseph Crudup. Have a great day, and God bless. See you then.